Recorded Books presents The Vanderbeekers Make a Wish by Karina Glaser. Narrated by Robin Miles. It isn't as if birthdays are common things. L. M. Montgomery, from Anne of Green Gables. In almost everyone's life, there is one event that changes the whole course of his existence. E. B. White, from The Trumpet of the Swan. Monday, August 4th. 5 days until Papa's birthday. Chapter 1. Wild was a word that could describe the weather on 141st Street on the first Monday of August. A hot wind rushed through the checkered streets of Harlem with such ferocity that trees bent in wide arches and pedestrians had to lean into the gusts at steep angles to keep from being blown off course. Rain pelted the sidewalks and pooled at street corners. At the top of the red brick brownstone in the middle of the street sat a weather vane that spun so fast it looked as if it might propel the building up into the air and disappear into the clouds. Down in the basement, Oliver, age 12 and ready to head to the 7th grade next month, was getting ready for a 3-day camping trip in the Adirondacks with his dad. 3 years ago, when his twin sisters, Isa and Jessie, were in 6th grade, Papa had taken them on a 3-day summer getaway trip. His sisters could choose anywhere within driving distance, and they asked to go to Washington, D.C. Isa's favorite violinist was performing at the Kennedy Center, and Jessie wanted to go to the Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center, where the Space Shuttle Discovery was displayed. In the years since then, Oliver had been planning for his summer after 6th grade trip with Papa, and what he wanted to do most was go camping. Papa and Oliver had researched the best places to camp in the area, and after considering many options, they had decided on the Adirondacks. They had booked a campsite right by a gorgeous lake 6 months in advance. Oliver had been looking forward to the trip throughout the long, hot, boring summer. And now that the day of departure was finally here, he was in a great mood as he checked the contents of his backpack for the 50th time. Outside, the clouds were low and dark, and wind caused rain to smack against the walls and windows of the brownstone. Upstairs, Mama was finishing up a batch of granola that Oliver and Papa would take with them, the musical clinking of metal bowls and wooden spoons, a comforting sound that the Vanderbeeker kids had all been hearing since birth. In the basement, Laney, who had turned 7 that past spring, was observing Oliver while sharing a bowl of crisp red-leaf lettuce with her gray lop-eared rabbit, Paganini. "This is great lettuce," Laney said as she watched Paganini consume an enormous leaf. "Do you want to bring some on your camping trip?" Oliver shook his head. "Yuck, no. We're only going to eat junk food. S'mores. Beans right out of the can. Hot dogs." Franz, a basset hound with long ears that he sometimes stepped on when he sniffed for dropped morsels of food, observed the lettuce eating with a focus he typically reserved for meal times. "I don't think you're going to like lettuce, Franz," 9-year-old Hyacinth said. She was sewing a plastic cover for Oliver's backpack. He was going to need it with all that rain. Laney held a piece of lettuce out, and Franz, elated that food was being handed to him, snatched it from her hand. Then he galloped up the stairs and out of sight. "I hope he's not hiding that in my bedroom," Oliver commented, looking up from his backpack. "I don't want to find slimy lettuce under my desk when I get back." A minute later, Franz reappeared and stood in front of Laney, staring at her until she gave him another piece. He disappeared up the stairs again. "What a weirdo," 15-year-old Jessie said. "Yeah, what a weirdo," Laney echoed. Isa put down her violin. She'd been practicing a complicated
Sample complete. Ready to continue?